Hi, everybody. Coach Tiffany here. So I would love to hear from all of you today, and I'm going to be talking more in the coming weeks about participating in the group. So far, everybody has been awesome and really involved in the group. Sorry, my hair is like distracting me. Anyway, that's a little ridiculous today. If you're hopping on live or if you are coming on the replay, oh, I'm making it so much worse. Okay, just ignore my hair. I will too. Anyway, if you're hopping on, please say hello. Anytime you feel like it, feel free to post in the group. But I also love hearing comments, feedback about the videos that I do or the posts. And, you guys being involved, that's really what adds value to this group. That really is what makes it so that other people are feeling supported and uplifted. And of course, I'm here to, do the live coachings and give a little bit of inspiration and get you guys thinking about, food and wellness and healing your relationship with food. But I always love having other people pitch in or chime in because, my voice isn't the only one that will speak to other people in the group. Your voice will too. Someone will be able to relate to your experience, and we're all at different phases in our lives. So what I'm going to talk about today is feeding ourselves. And I'm going to try to not stand too long this morning. And, I just really want to plant a little seed. But what I have really discovered is that most people who come to work with me and most people I have conversations with around food don't have a system for feeding themselves. Now, a lot of that has to do with confusion about what to eat, right? So there's like, what's yummy? There's, when you talk about cravings, there's like, am I craving something like blueberries that my body needs? Or am I craving something for the flavor? Maybe it's salty, fat, savory, sweet. What is it that is making me want particular foods? Are there good foods and bad foods? And there's all these shoulds around what we should eat. And so there's all of this kind of noise around what should we eat, first of all. And then that leads to a lot of decision fatigue around food. So it's like, should I grab the chips? I should make something for myself, but I don't really have all the ingredients, or that's going to take so much effort. And then, what am I going to eat later today? What about the timing? If I'm hungry at 10 in the morning, but I have a lunch break at noon, should I eat at 10 and then I'm not going to be hungry at noon, right? So there's all of this, all these decisions that we need to make around food. And so one of the things I encourage anyone that I talk with about food or anyone that I work with to do is really look at what is satisfying for you. So, it's interesting. It varies so widely. So for me, it's warm, savory in a bowl. So I want like soup and stew and curry and pretty much want all my food warm. In the summertime, I like to eat fresh fruits and veggies that aren't necessarily warm. But even in the summertime, I often want warm, savory in a bowl. So, it'll be 90 degrees out and I'll be eating like a spicy curry, like sweating. But it feels really good to me in my body. So that's what's nourishing for me. And what's satisfying for you is actually going to be better absorbed by your body. And you're also much more likely to, if you've got something that's satisfying for you in the fridge, you're more likely to take the time to heat it up and eat it versus grabbing that bag of chips. Rather than if you have like a whole bunch of lettuce in the fridge that you have to like prep and chop and then eat, and maybe it doesn't sound that satisfying, right? So spend some time around, what makes a meal satisfying for you. I often joke around and tell people about my husband. He wants all the components of a meal. So if we're having a Sunday breakfast, he will literally leave in the middle of cooking breakfast if he realizes that we're out of orange juice or that we don't have, I don't know, like bread. If he wants toast, he likes to have like eggs and bacon and toast with jam and coffee and milk and orange juice. And if he prepares his whole meal and gets it all on a plate and then realizes he doesn't have a part of it, he'll stop and go make that part of his meal. For me, that would make the food not be the right temperature, and I would never do that. I'm like, forget it. It's too late. It's not worth it. Even if it's a key component to the meal, I'll just skip it because I want my food to be hot. So I used to be like, hey, your food's getting cold. And I would get like irritated with him for not just sitting down and eating. And now I know for him, it doesn't matter what the temperature is as long as he has all the pieces. So, so everyone's different. I have someone in my life that loves all bite-sized food. And so it's all about, grapes and cherries and baby carrots and little pieces of broccoli and little crackers and all bite-sized. And then I was talking with someone yesterday, and it's more about like variety and flavor for her. So knowing that, that person's going to want to not have like this one meal that they make and then make it last the whole week or something, right? So smaller options that have different, that are interesting and have different kinds of flavors. So, and for some people, it's all about having things as easy as possible, like simple meals, right? So maybe it's rice and chicken, and then the next day it's sweet potatoes and chicken, and the next day it's broccoli and chicken, right? So some people just need ease in their life. And so that's actually I'm gonna segue into the next thing, which is really recognizing that we are valuable and worthy of being cared for, right? And that investing time and money into feeding ourselves well, first we deserve that, right? And so everyone's bottom line is a little different, but typically you have a little bit more time you can invest, or you have a little bit more funds you can invest. Because that will increase the quality of your food that's available to you. And I think not recognizing that we need to really be intentional with our time so that we are planning our meals, that we know that we have food available, is actually a really big challenge for a lot of women. We have so many demands on our time that food tends to be an afterthought or kind of a last minute, like what am I going to make for dinner tonight? What am I going to make this week maybe? But then not really intentionally planning, like, okay, I need to go to the grocery store maybe on like Thursday or Friday. I need to spend time on or actually Thursday or Friday I would do like menu planning, right? And then go to the grocery store Friday or Saturday, and then do food prep on Sunday. And it takes a lot of time. But for me, if I don't have that food already prepared and ready to go, or at least semi-prepared. Oh, hi, Lindsay. Nice to meet you. I'm so glad you're able to hop on today. I'd love to hear if you have thoughts about feeding yourself and like the challenges associated with that. Because so much of the time, like simply having food available, like quality real food available, is like half the battle, if not more. But that requires, like I said, making ourselves a priority and recognizing that we're worth it. We're worth making that, saying no to something else so that we have that time to say yes to ourselves. Yeah, lunch break. Yeah. Oh man. Well, I'm a nurse. So like lunch break is kind of a joke, right? Even now I do case management just very part-time at the hospital, and it's challenging sometimes to get away from my desk and eat. And I work in the evening where there's not a lot of great options, so I have to bring food. Otherwise, it's kind of whatever is at the cafeteria. I'm at the mercy of that. Um, and I'm gluten free, so which is because of some health issues I have. So it's really hard to get something last minute. I have found some hacks around that. There's like, New Season Salad Bar or their Walk Station. And I live in Portland, so there's, a lot of gluten-free options. But, I can't leave the hospital to go get those foods. So, yeah, lunch breaks are really challenging. So recognizing like it's okay to stop working, and that we deserve to take a break and nourish ourselves. And the crazy thing is, if we do that, we're actually better prepared to go out into the world and like do work, right? And we can handle things better. Like our stress level isn't as high if we're able to stop, take a break, feed ourselves well. Our energy level goes up. But it is challenging when all of these things are happening around us and there's all these demands to stop and take that time. So I hope that this post will inspire you to recognize that just feeding yourself regularly, we have to do it multiple times a day. For some people, it's like 4 or even 5 times a day, every single day. And yet it is such a struggle. So just acknowledging, yeah, I need that time, and I can say no to other things in order to make sure I have that time, because nourishing my body is my priority, right? It's such a base need, and we don't tend to recognize that we deserve to make that a priority. The weeks that so Lindsay's saying the weeks that I don't meal prep, this week included, I find myself scrambling, to throw something together every day. And so a salad and a PBJ, that's actually, salad and PBJ is pretty great, actually. I'm all about taking advantage of my lunch break at work. That's awesome. So yeah, but it's true. Like that's kind of a random combination. And I don't know for you what, in terms of like how nourishing that feels to your body or how satisfying that feels to your body, but at least you brought a lunch. I think that's amazing. Congratulations. It's amazing to me how much of a struggle it is for all of us to simply feed ourselves. So here's kind of the steps. Try to let go of judgment around food, recognize what is satisfying for you, what are you realistically going to eat, and where can you invest a little more time or can you invest more money? Where can you fit that in? So for me, right now, I actually have hired a meal prep service called No Mesha. They supplement the meals that I make, which is amazing. They bring really high quality, tasty food to my house once a week. And so I've invested a little more money because I don't have the time right now. I'm running two businesses and working part time, which I'm working on shifting. But I just had to acknowledge, like, I actually don't have the time right now. When I leave my hospital job, I probably will have a little more time and I'll do more of the food prep myself. But when I was doing all of it, what I would do is I would actually, like Wednesday or Thursday, I would make the menu for the following week. And then I would order groceries to come to my house on Saturday. And then I had devoted Sunday afternoon to simply just like chopping the veggies, getting everything as ready as I could. And I would look at my calendar for the week and see like, okay, this day needs to be a crock pot meal. This day can be a freezer meal. I'm going to pull soup out from the freezer, or, just fitting it all in. Today can be a leftover day. And then, maybe Wednesday night, we have a hectic night. We're going to need to grab some food on the go and kind of make a plan for that in advance. And I happen to be a planner, so it's not that hard for me, but I do know other people who have used like some of the meal planning apps. Um, I can't think of it right now. I know Jen Calhoun has some great apps that she's using. Anyway, if I think of it, I'll come back, but I'll be posting about those in the future. So, using apps or using a friend, right? Like, hey, let's hop on the phone every Wednesday on my lunch break, and we'll both just like say, okay, this is what I'm going to have this week. Another option is using your Google Calendar to make it a recurring event so that you have that meal maybe once a month. So each week you would just look and see like, okay, we're going to have fish on tonight. We're going to have tacos. We're going to have, Caesar salad, whatever it is, and then move things around to nights that work for you. But that way you're not having to reinvent the wheel in terms of what the actual meals are every time. Monthly seems to be a pretty good balance for people in terms of it doesn't seem like you're having it too frequently. So those are kind of some ideas. So basically, let go of the judgment, acknowledge what's satisfying for you, let yourself just have that because feeding yourself is really important. And when you get used to a routine around feeding yourself really regularly, then you can shift it if you want to be a little more nutritious or a little more whatever your health goals are, right? Like anti-inflammatory or more veggies. But initially, when you're out of the habit, getting into the habit is really important. So recognize what you will actually eat and then figure out how are you going to fit this into your life. So looking at your calendar, realistically saying no to some things, or if you need to, just purchasing like support in that area. So having someone, maybe you have a nanny, maybe she can start dinner for you some nights, or maybe hubby is willing to start a dinner, 2 nights a week, or do dinner some of the nights. So it's a shared responsibility. If you have a husband or a spouse, if you're single, it's a little more challenging because it kind of all falls onto you. But some people are not single and still it all falls onto them, right? So, anyways, asking for support in that area or even hiring help in that area if you need to. We're starting to look more at like some of the more prepared options that are still kind of healthier. There are a number of ways to get, like you can get the rice already cooked from Trader Joe's, or you can get the pre-cut stuff. If that's what you need to do to like make it through, especially I know fall is a really busy time with people who have kids going back to school. There's all these like orientation nights and, just getting used to getting up earlier and getting the kids going and homework and all that can be really challenging. So be gentle on yourself. Look for ways that you can maximize the amount of um, maximize the ease, right? And so kind of using those hacks. And we're going to be talking a lot about different ways to menu plan in the future. I'm going to have a series, blog post series about kind of some of these different little menu planning ideas that I've had. And we're going to be posting recipes in the group around, like crockpot meals, freezer meals, things like that make it a lot easier. But a lot of the work has to do with making yourself the priority and acknowledging, hey, I do have to feed myself all day, every day. And so it's fine if I want to say like, hey, Sundays don't work for me for get-togethers, or um, you know, if I can't do my food prep on Sunday, I'm going to need to, take Friday night to do it, or Monday night, something like that, right? So really acknowledging like I actually deserve this and I need this time. Because if we're feeding ourselves regularly, we have a lot less stress around food. We have a lot more, energy. We have more mental space, right? Because we're not like constantly like, shoot, what am I going to eat? What am I going to do? And trying to kind of search for food. So I rambled on way longer than I planned on, but I really hope that this has got you thinking about your deserve around feeding yourself and letting go of judgment and making yourself a priority in that way so that you have what you need to do the things you really want to do in life. All right. Hope you have a wonderful Monday. Take care.